Let me ask you something. Have you ever stared at your to-do list, knowing exactly what you should be doing, but instead, you opened your phone, scrolled through videos, maybe even reorganized your sock drawer, and told yourself, I'll start in 5 minutes. And then suddenly, hours pass, the day is gone, and that important task is still untouched. That, my friend, is procrastination. And it's not just a bad habit, it's practically a human epidemic.
Meanwhile, we dogs don't have that problem. If I want a treat, I don't think, maybe tomorrow. I just bark until you give in. Simple.
You see, that's what fascinates me. Dogs live in the present, acting when instinct calls. Humans, we delay, we stall, we hesitate. And today, we're diving into the science of procrastination, why we do it, how it shapes our lives, and what we can learn from creatures like Max, who never procrastinate. But before we jump in, I want you to pause for just a second. Tell me in the comments where you're watching from, and what your personal struggles with procrastination are. Do you delay studying? Do you put off workouts? Or maybe it's those big dreams you keep postponing. Write it down. And now, put your device on full screen, because we're about to uncover truths that could change the way you see procrastination forever.
Translation: don't procrastinate on commenting. Do it now.
Let's start with the hook of this whole problem. Procrastination isn't about laziness. In fact, studies from neuroscience show that procrastination is actually about emotional regulation. Your brain sees a task, and if it feels overwhelming, stressful, or boring, it tries to protect you by avoiding it. It's not that you can't do the task, it's that your brain doesn't want to feel discomfort in the moment.
So when you avoid folding laundry, it's not because you're lazy, it's because your brain thinks socks are scary.
Not exactly, Max. But think of it like this. When faced with something challenging, say writing a paper or starting a new project, the amygdala, the brain's fear center, lights up. The task feels threatening. Meanwhile, the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for planning and decision-making, gets overpowered. The result? You choose comfort now over progress later.
That's why you humans end up watching cat videos at 2 a.m. instead of doing taxes. Survival instincts, right?
Exactly. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Psychologists call this temporal discounting. It's our tendency to value small, immediate rewards over big future ones. Like eating a cookie now instead of working toward long-term health. Dogs don't suffer from this the same way. If Max sees a ball, he chases it. If he's hungry, he eats when food is offered. He doesn't delay for tomorrow Max.
Tomorrow Max doesn't exist. Only belly rubs now.
And that's the beauty of it. Dogs live fully in the present, and maybe that's why they seem so joyful. Humans, on the other hand, keep bargaining with time. I'll do it tomorrow. But tomorrow never truly comes. It's always today. Now, let's create a curiosity loop. If procrastination is about emotions, not laziness, then the question becomes, how do we trick our brain into working with us instead of against us? Keep that thought in mind. We'll come back to it.
Ooh, suspense. You're learning my tricks. Like when I drop the ball at your feet, then walk away, making you wonder if I want to play or not. Keeps you hooked.
Let's step back into history for a moment. Procrastination isn't new. The ancient Greeks even had a word for it, akrasia, the state of acting against your better judgment. Imagine philosophers sitting under olive trees, knowing they should be writing, but instead debating endlessly. Sound familiar?
So, humans have basically been procrastinating for thousands of years. No wonder you guys invented Netflix. It's the ultimate distraction.
Exactly. But science today gives us more clarity. For example, a 2013 study by Dr. Piers Steele defined procrastination as self-regulation failure. It's not about time management. It's about mood management. We avoid tasks not because we don't have time, but because we don't want to feel negative emotions tied to them.
Which means procrastination is basically emotional belly scratching. You avoid the itch instead of dealing with it.
That's one way to put it. Let me give you a relatable example. Imagine you have a report due. You sit down to work, but the thought of how boring it will be makes you anxious. So you say, I'll just check social media for a minute. That small hit of dopamine from scrolling feels good, but now you've reinforced the habit loop. Cue, feeling stress, routine, distraction, reward, temporary relief. Over time, this loop wires into your brain.
Kinda like when I bark and you give me a treat. Cue, routine, reward. Only difference? My habit makes me happy. Yours makes you stressed.
That's the paradox. Procrastination feels good now, but hurts later. Productivity feels hard now, but pays later. It's a constant battle between short-term mood repair and long-term growth. And here's where dogs can teach us something profound. Max doesn't overthink. He doesn't fear failing to catch the ball. He just chases it. He doesn't sit around worrying if he's good enough to bark at the mailman. He just does it. Meanwhile, humans get paralyzed by perfectionism, fear of judgment, or the illusion of endless time.
You guys even procrastinate on sleeping. I see you lying in bed, scrolling at 1 a.m. saying, just 5 more minutes. No dog has ever done that.
And that brings us to another curiosity loop. If procrastination is emotional, and dogs don't struggle with it, could living more like a dog actually reduce procrastination in humans?
Spoiler alert, yes. Start with more naps.
Not exactly what I meant, Max. But let's unpack this. Research shows that breaking procrastination requires reframing tasks. Instead of seeing them as painful, we need to tie them to positive emotions. One method is called temptation bundling, pairing something you need to do with something you enjoy. For example, only listening to your favorite podcast while exercising, or allowing yourself a fancy coffee only while studying.
See, that's basically how you trained me. Sit, get a treat. Stay, get a belly rub. Works like magic.
Exactly. Humans can hack their brains the same way. Another proven strategy is the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. For bigger tasks, just start with 2 minutes. Write 1 sentence, do 1 push-up, open the book. Momentum often carries you further than you expect.
That's why I start with 1 bark. Next thing you know, I'm in full bark symphony mode.
Right. It's easier to continue than to start. That's why starting is the most important step. But let's not get too mechanical here. Procrastination isn't just about hacks. It's about identity. Every time you delay, you reinforce the story. I am a procrastinator. But every time you take even a small action, you reinforce a different story. I am someone who follows through. Habits are votes for identity.
So every time I fetch, I'm voting to be a good boy, which, by the way, I already am.
And every time I choose to delay, I'm voting against the version of myself I want to be. That's powerful, because it means procrastination isn't just stealing our time. It's shaping who we become. Now, let's add another loop. If procrastination is so destructive, why do some people still thrive despite it? How do artists, writers, and inventors sometimes create brilliance at the last minute? Is procrastination always bad? Or is there a hidden advantage?
Oh, drama. Are you saying procrastination has a secret superpower?
That's what we'll uncover in a moment. But first, let's pause and reflect. Think about the tasks you're avoiding right now. What emotion do you feel when you picture doing them? Boredom? Anxiety? Fear of failure? Recognize that it's not the task itself you're avoiding. It's the feeling, That awareness alone is the first step to breaking free.
And maybe reward yourself with a cookie after. Works for me.
Now, remember that thought, because in the next section, we'll explore how procrastination, while destructive, can sometimes spark creativity and innovation, and what that means for building a healthier relationship with time. You know, procrastination is strange. We humans often wait for the perfect moment. We think, I'll start when I feel ready. I'll start when the stars align. I'll start tomorrow. But the truth? Tomorrow is just today in disguise. Tomorrow never really arrives, does it? And yet, Max here never waits for tomorrow. If he's hungry, he eats. If he wants to play, he plays. If he's sleepy, he sleeps. No calendar, no to-do list, no guilt. Just presence, immediate action.
Or, as I like to call it, living like a boss.
Dogs don't romanticize procrastination. They don't say, I'll chase that squirrel later. They just go for it. It's pure action, pure instinct. Meanwhile, humans get caught in loops. The Zeigarnik effect. Unfinished tasks stick in your mind and cause stress. The brain keeps reminding you, nudging you. That's why that one pending assignment feels like a heavy backpack, even when you're trying to relax.
Wait, so you're telling me humans torture themselves by not finishing things, and then they complain about the stress? You guys are wild.
Yes, Max, we humans are wild. We know what we should do, but we delay it, and then we feel bad for delaying it. It's like being stuck in traffic you created yourself. But here's the kicker. Procrastination isn't just laziness. It's often perfectionism. We don't start because we fear it won't be perfect. We tell ourselves, I'll wait until I'm in the right mood. But moods are like clouds, temporary, drifting. If you wait for them to be perfect, you'll never move.
Which is why I don't wait. If I see mud, I roll in it. Perfection achieved. Instant happiness.
See, that's wisdom disguised as silliness. Perfection is an illusion, but progress, that's real. And progress only comes when you start. Now, science tells us there's something called temporal discounting. That's when we value immediate rewards more than future ones. It's why we binge watch a series now instead of studying for an exam later. It's why we eat cake today instead of working for long-term health. Our brain literally discounts the future, as if tomorrow is worth less than today.
So humans basically sell their future selves for a bag of chips?
Exactly, Max. And this is where habits become crucial. Because habits reduce the need for decision-making. If brushing your teeth is a habit, you don't argue with yourself about it. You just do it. No procrastination, no debate. That's the magic. Turning effort into autopilot.
Like me bringing you the ball every evening. It's automatic. I don't sit there debating, should I fetch, should I not? I just do it.
And that's why dogs are masters of action. They don't negotiate with themselves. They don't scroll through TikTok wondering if chasing the ball is worth it. They chase. But here's something deeper. Behind procrastination lies fear. Fear of failure. Fear of judgment. Fear that the outcome won't match the picture in our minds. So we hide. We wait. We postpone. We procrastinate.
You mean you're scared of things that haven't even happened yet?
Yes, Max. That's exactly it. Humans battle invisible enemies every day, and procrastination becomes our shield. If I don't try, I can't fail. But that also means I can't succeed.
Woof. That's tragic. I mean, when I chase a squirrel, sometimes I catch it, sometimes I don't. But at least I had the fun of running. You guys don't even run. You just sit there thinking about running.
And that's the tragedy. Life is not about guarantees. It's about attempts. A dog understands that. A child understands that. But as we grow older, we complicate things. Now, let me tell you a secret. Neuroscience shows that the first 5 minutes are the hardest. if you can just start, your brain often shifts into flow. It's like pushing a car. It's heavy at first, but once it's rolling, momentum helps. That's called the activation energy principle.
So basically, humans need to trick themselves, start for 5 minutes, and then it gets easier.
Exactly. Start for 5 minutes. That's it. Don't promise yourself perfection. Just promise a beginning. And here's the emotional truth. Every time we procrastinate, we're not just delaying a task. We're delaying ourselves. We're putting our growth, our joy, our potential on pause.
Wow, that's deep. So when you don't write that book or call that friend or chase that dream, you're kind of leaving part of yourself behind?
Yes. That's it, Max. Procrastination isn't about time management. It's about self-management. It's about courage. And maybe that's why dogs feel so free. Because they never put life on hold. They chase, they bark, they wag, they love. Without delay.
Which is why people love us. We remind you of what it means to live now.
You're right, buddy. You're right. So, my friend listening right now, if you've been delaying something, writing that email, starting that project, picking up that book, just start. Not tomorrow. Not later. Now. Just 5 minutes. That's all. Because 5 minutes of messy progress beats 5 years of perfect planning. Because life is happening now, not someday. And if you need inspiration, look at Max. He doesn't wait for the perfect mood. He doesn't wait for motivation. He just goes. He lives. And maybe, just maybe, that's the secret to happiness.
And lots of belly rubs. Don't forget that.
Yes, Max. And lots of belly rubs. So let's make a pact. You, me, and Max. The next time procrastination whispers, "Not today," we'll answer back. Watch me.
Woof, I'll be cheering.
And maybe that's all we need. Not a grand plan. Not a perfect day. Just a start. One small, imperfect, courageous start. So let's not delay life anymore. Because while we wait, life doesn't.
Exactly. Squirrels don't wait either.